Hello, everybody. I know the lighting's kind of terrible. Hang on a second. There we go. This here's the little dump truck that I built. It's going through a transformation as we speak. Right here, well, after I find my scissors and then I cut it out of cardboard or something like that. This is a template for truck bed that I'm gonna make for it. I decided to make it into a pickup truck because the wheelbase was all funky for it to be a dump truck. You know, I only was using pieces that work provided me. So what I need to do, I guess, is come out here and make me some running boards. Just make some flat running boards to hook onto these fenders. I mean, they're not perfect welds, and it's starting to get rusty, but I mean, I ain't closed the cab up. I ain't closed up the cab. I mean, this is a pretty in-depth view of how I did it. I cut the fender out and then bent this metal and just put it in there, and I didn't try to cut an angle into it because I bent an angle into the fenders itself. And that all fits in there like that, and then I need to get in there somehow and cap this, cap that, cap the front, put a bumper on. Check that out. There's body grooves in the doors. The thing set up there, I painted it with a Sharpie. It's set up there and got some patina on it, which I kind of like, honestly. But yeah, someday I would like to build a bigger version of this. Just because I always wanted to build my own pickup truck from start to finish. This is just a small scale of what I want to do, and I'll show you this. So as you can imagine, those nuts are welded on in a way where they slide onto this rod. That's what lets it dump. So it's scooted back just a little bit, but that's that. Got holes cut right here. I figure, I can fix up I seam welded all of this. That I think I done. Oh, that's heavy. I think I done an amazing job rounding off all my welds, rounding off the corners. That looks like garbage just because I didn't care. I was running out of time. Put this on at an angle. This is all just full of weld. This comes straight up, and I filled all that in with weld, as you can see. And then I just grinded it flat. This thing is heavy. Look at the size of the steel that I used. I mean, that steel ain't no joke. That's what they build nuclear waste containers out of, But that was just pieces that were in the scrap bin. They'd cut out for people to do weld tests and stuff like that. I used it to build me a dump truck. Right now the bed is holding, if that can give you a size comparison, if anybody has trash bags like that, it fits right into it. But I don't think you can beat that stance right there in that wheelbase. I broke apart a little old truck, and I can't never keep that straight where it looks right. But I'm going to come up at an angle with the bumper and kind of try to triangulate that, and then have the bumper up here tying into this bull bar. I showed this on my old channel, but I've not showed it on this channel yet. But I'm getting excited about welding again because I'm going tomorrow for a weld test for a new job to be a welder. And I'm getting pumped up about being a welder again. And eventually that does flop back up, but yeah, I think it's pretty cool. See? It just slowly pops back up through there. It's just springs out of ink pens. It's supposed to look kind of like the guard on the muffler. But I just think it looks so cool. Especially when you got the wheels turned. Looks like something you'd see in the Mud Runner video game. And if you know me, you know that's my favorite video game in the world. It's because I can drive stuff like this. But I'm going to figure out how to permanently attach these, because I like those on there. I'm actually going to spray paint these. That way there's not red showing in them. This truck will probably end up being camo with that kind of bed on it. I'm going to have to wait till Peyton gets better. He decided to go and hurt himself. He's in the hospital. But I'm going to try to, when I go to cut that out, use his plasma cutter. And then obviously I'm going to put a little brace right here. I might make a top bar that kind of angles and kind of sticks out like my finger is right here. Because that's the way I've seen a bunch of these old trucks. I'm going to try to make it where it'll have tail lights that actually look like tail lights. I'm going to find an angle of some kind to put here. I'm going to try to angle the corner of this bed like that. But, yeah, there's my pattern. Measured it all out, got it all perfect. That's where the axles want to sit. And I think you can't beat the stance of it. I could have made the cab just a little bit bigger. I definitely could have made the cab, that much longer. But I was working with what I had, and I think I'd done a pretty good job. Someday, and that right there is what puts all the weight in it. That, from here to here, that's a solid block of metal. Look in there. That's a solid block of steel. That's one big huge block of steel. It's like 2x4. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. That's like 1x4 or something like that. That's probably one. Let's see. So we're gonna say 1.5. I know that it's right under like 7/16. But we're gonna say that ain't right either. We're gonna say 1.5 by, let's measure it like this. It goes top to bottom. 1.5 by, let's say 3. So that's 1x3. We'll call it 1x3. But yeah, that's just a solid chunk of steel that's welded in there, and I've rounded off all the corners, and the hood's not exactly right. You can see where I put the hood together with tack welds, because I did not intend on that being my finished product hood, but then I ended up tack welding the bull bar here, and I'm just not messing with it. It's on there, looks fine. I'm gonna block all this off, block all of that off, And I might even use styrene to block that stuff off. I don't know. I might use styrene, that way it looks like an actual grill and I can cut little lines into it. I don't know. Give me your opinion. The headlights are already wood, little things that you put on them wooden trucks to look like headlights. But I mean, they look like headlights. But if I can ever find some of those where I can put a battery pack inside of here with a little switch to turn real headlights that look like that on, I'd love to find some. I'd also love to find parts for one of them 10th scale crawlers, because that's the axles that I'll permanently mount underneath this. Because that right there would be the coolest thing that I ever had, because I built it and then I could take it and drive it. I think it'd be cool. So here's an 11-minute video talking about my humongous dump truck. And when I say humongous, I'm talking 17.5 inches long. That's a big old truck. But I think it's cool because I built it completely out of scrap metal. And then I went with that line with that piece, cut me a door line into it and a hood line, separated it. I was going to cut a line right here, but I didn't see the need or the purpose, because usually these tilt up like that. That's not going to happen on this truck. I ain't making it. It's like a Deuce and a Half and a Dodge M37 mixed. I don't know. I designed it like that for a reason, because that's what I want to build someday. I want to build myself a pickup truck. It basically looks like that right there. That's not a Deuce and a Half. That's not a military Dodge M37, but it's close to both. And them are probably my favorite trucks to exist in the whole world. I can't personally justify buying a Deuce and a Half, but someday when I decide to buy me another truck, it probably will be a Dodge M37. Honestly, it probably will be. But this old truck's coming along pretty cool. Someday I'll finish it up and show you guys the finished product. Got a bed to build, but I'm glad that I got the other one to come off nicely, because I can keep that on there. I can actually, probably see how far that one sticks out, and then this one sticks out a whole lot farther. I could probably cut that much off of that. Try to make those even so that it's not such a, to me it just looks funny because they're sticking out too far on one end. But the entire bed would shift back and forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put washers on here to space everything and hold everything tight. And I might try to tap the end of this to put a bolt on to tighten that bed up if I ever put another one on it. Because I'm thinking about even making this bed dump. Because on the truck that I'm going to build, okay, here's my idea. I want to build a truck like this, obviously, completely out of scratch. I want to put a Ford 300 inline 6 cylinder in it, paired up with a 4-speed Bulldog out of same said truck. I would like it to be a small truck, no bigger than a Ford Ranger. It's going to look like this, but it's going to be no bigger than a Ford Ranger. And it's going to have a dump bed on it. Just a normal pickup truck dump bed. Or you can get an actual dump truck bed, or someday I'm going to build me a wooden flatbed, or actually small angle iron. And then, I'm going to try to make them all where they'll either bolt to the frame here in 4 areas, maybe 2, 4, 6 areas. And then this bed and that dump bed hooks right here and can dump. Either way, it's going to have dump bed. It's going to have solid flat bed with a big headache rack. But small truck, no bigger than a Ranger, with a 306 cylinder, 4-speed Bulldog Jeep Grand Cherokee axles. That's what I want. Jeep Grand Cherokee axles, because they're small and they're pretty rugged. And I feel like I could make cool springs happen real easy on a pickup truck like this. Basically what I want to do is I want to build a truck that farmers and people who actually try to use things to do stuff with can actually use to do stuff with. I'd like to patent this and sell it someday. Not this, but the real life version. That's my plan. Because I think that the world and construction sites everywhere needs a truck like this. Because side-by-sides are way overpriced nowadays. And on top of being overpriced, they got little bitty short beds on them that you can't do nothing with, if they even have beds. I want to build a small pickup truck that's got muscle, that 306 cylinder will pull anything, especially with a Bulldog transmission, mixed with Jeep axles with probably about 350 gears in them. If they don't have 350 gears, I'll swap 350 gears in them. I'll put a limited slip positive traction in the rear, air lockers in the front. That way I can lock all differentials. And yeah, I feel like it would be a beast in low side 4-wheel drive. So that's kind of what I'm going for. This stack is probably going to come off. I don't know. I put that stack on there when I was going with the deuce and a half look, but I don't like it. If it was back here and it come out and kind of angled like that, I'd probably like it. But I don't care for that, so I'm probably going to end up taking that off. It's just tack welded on. So yeah, that's probably going to come off. Because if I build an exhaust on this truck, I want to use actual pipe and run it out. I don't know. I'm weird like that. This truck's this cool anyway. I'd like to put actual pipe like up in here hidden and then fold it out under the bed or something, stick it out. But there's the truck. I hope y'all find some kind of inspiration in this. Let me know if you think that would be a cool thing. Let me know if you would buy something like that, especially if it was priced at around, let's say, $15,000. Average side-by-side that I've seen is 20 or 30 nowadays. But think about that. Agricultural tires that are road legal, because I've seen those, like tractor tires instead of something like this. But this kind of truck, small package like a Ford Ranger with a 5.5, maybe 6 foot long dump bed, Jeep powertrain, Ford powertrain under the hood, the good Ford powertrain, 306 cylinder. That's kind of why the nose is so long. Fit a 306 cylinder in there with a 4-speed Bulldog, Jeep axles, dump bed, hydraulic dump bed. Tell me if you guys would buy that personally for $15,000 to $18,000, because I'm sure it ain't going to be cheap to build, but you know, I feel like I can do it for $15,000 or $18,000. So tell me, would y'all do that? And someday you're going to get to see a build up of something like that. Someday I am going to build this. I've been talking about it my whole life. I'm going to do it. So we'll talk to y'all later. Thank you for watching this whole 20-minute long rambling on video, and we'll see you.